Okay guys, so what I'm going to show you here is just a quick demo of the application that I've made or started to make for the Appathon. Now if I go to edit, I'll just explain some of the code. So what we've got is our main section of code here, so we can set our background and our asset. So I've got a background of a beehive. So I create my board and I've set what size, and I've set the bottom of the screen to be equal to the height minus 40, so we've got a bit where if a honeypot drops, basically it's game over. I set the score to 0, lives to 3, and the top of the board is 100. If we just go down a bit. So then we've got to create a bee. I've set the height of the bee and the speed that the honeypot's going to fall at. And then I've called on some functions that I've made which sets up the score and the falling honey. So if I just come out of that by going to dismiss. So what we've got here is end game. What I'm saying here is if I call on the end of the game, it's going to create a new pop-up that says that it's game over. Okay, and then what we're going to do is have the set the score transparency and post it to the wall. Then we can post it to a leaderboard and post your score. And then further down here again, if they want to play again, I've called on main. We also have falling honey. This is another function which basically says that the honey pot's going to fall at the speed that is set. Reset, so if it goes past a certain thing, it's going to go straight to the top. So we've set the Y variable and we've said that it's going to be anywhere along the screen. So the X variable is like left and right, and I've set the position here, and each time a new pot falls is going to increase the speed by 20 to make the game more difficult. I've also at the beginning of the game set up a function to set up a scoreboard where I've put like 3 love hearts in red, and also the score is going to be 0 to begin with. But for all this to run, we've got something called a game loop. So if the board is touched, this is basically saying wherever your finger is on the game, on the Windows application, this is where the bee is going to move left and right. We've also got if the honey pot goes past the bottom of the screen, which I set earlier in the other code, take a live off and set the lives, remove one of the lives, make your phone vibrate, and hide the honey pot. Then we've got if the honey pot goes over the top of the bee, obviously you're going to get a point for catching it, and then reset the honey. And obviously here we hide the honey pot. If the honey pot is visible, equals false, so if it's not visible, set the speed back to 0 and reset honey. Okay, and if the lives is less than or equal to 0, then end game. So that's calling the bit where we posted all the score, so that's where that's used. And then obviously each time you do something on a touch application, you need to update it to the wall. So here's the that was in the game loop. But when you make a game using Touch Develop, you need to set up your different pictures, your sprites. So I've got my bee, and I've uploaded a picture. Honey pot, I've uploaded a picture there. I've also got a boolean, so I can see if people want to play the game again or not. And if you want to find out more about this application, just look for Lanky Boy Ray. That's my Twitter name as well. So you can follow me on there, and I'll do some updates on Touch Develop applications soon. So if I just run this, you'll see how it works. So this is just the bonus part to a spelling game that I'm going to be making. So I run that. So here's our bee, and I'm clicking and dragging it. So each time I catch the pot, so I'm going to see if I can play this time, it should speed up and then move to a different part, so you can see that the pot's got faster. And it's got faster again, and now I'm deliberately going to lose this in a moment, so I'll just show you this I'm just going to get a higher score than I got before. When I was testing it, I only went up to a high score of 20 deliberately. So now I'm going to deliberately lose a life, and then I'm going to wait for this one to go down the screen and deliberately lose a life. And the touchdevelop.com, if you go onto there and create an account, it's quite easy to start making a simple code. And the good thing about it, there's learning pages, so you can use other people's tutorials. And on top of that, you've also got like other people's games that you can have a look at their code and see what they've done. So for example, you could have a look at some typing games that people have made so that it speeds up the typing on the phone. There might be some applications out there that help education, so they highlight specific words, so maybe there's a learning difficulty out there where people have vision problems where you could actually zoom in on it. So you can see that said game over for me. Do I want to play again? No, I don't, but you can see my other account, which is user 305283, has got the next highest score on that. So if I press yes, it would start again, and it just posts the score to the right so that you can see that, and so on. Alright, and that's the bonus round to my spelling game that I will be making for the Appathon at the Microsoft Partners in Learning Appathon this coming week. So if you want to try and have a go of that, feel free.